Hey guys, this is Zach with you on Let's Code Together, and today we're going to build a simple and easy project that will speed up the process we usually take to create our project Kickstarters. So usually when I start or create a project, I have to create a folder in my projects directory. I have to go to GitHub, create a repository, and link that repository to my current folder. And then I have to run Visual Studio Code from that current folder. Those steps are just long and repetitive for every single project that I have to start. So just imagine if you don't have to do those steps anymore. Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, this is what we're gonna build today. A little bash script, right? Mixed with some Python code that will allow you to just do all those steps in one command line. All right, let's dive into it.
All right, so we started by creating our worker live directory. And all we know so far is that we need a Python script and a bash script. So let's go and create our two files. Worker.py. Our second file will be worker. And since I'm on Windows, I will be using a bat extension instead of a sh extension. So before we start coding, let's go back to our Python script and let's go through a design phase or planning phase. So all we know so far is that we need a Python script and a bash script as we stated before, but what is going to go into the worker.py and the worker.bat. So what we will do is Python and batch. So two parts to our program. Now, in the Python script, what I like to do is so I would like to actually connect to GitHub, then create my repository and retrieve the repo link. On the bash side, what I will want to do is create the folder in my project directory. Then I would like to create a file, readme.md, with some content. Then I would like to link the GitHub repo with my directory. So that entails git commit, git add, git push, git add origin, etc. And then I would like to run visual code from the folder that was created. So another question that we will need to answer during this project is how to not hard code your token, or GitHub token actually, in your Python script when connected to GitHub. So now that we got our planning phase, there are some prerequisites that we will need. So we'll start by installing some packages and then retrieving those packages in the Python script and using those packages or modules to actually connect to GitHub, create the repository, and retrieve the repository. So the first step, right, is to install the Python packages that we need. So there are two Python packages that we will need to install. The first one is to actually use environment variables in your Python script, and the package is called .env. So to do that, you'll direct yourself to the terminal, and what you will need to do is pip install -u python-.env. I already installed this package, but you'll need to install it. Right? Then the next step will be to install the GitHub package, which is called PyGitHub. So what you do is pip install py uppercase, y, and then GitHub. If everything is all set, it will tell me the coins already satisfied, and 3 will just install the package. Now that is set up, right? GitHub has a little issue with the user object creating repositories. So what we'll do is create a actual organization in your GitHub account, and we'll use that to create a repository inside of that. So let's go to GitHub. Now in GitHub, what I'd like you to do is you will go to settings. What you will do is click on organizations. Now I already created a couple, so let's go new organization. Let's put a name. Let's go together 2. And I'll set it up to be my personal account. You'll keep it to open source account, and then you put whatever email. This is for future references. If you're changing your team billing plan, it will just build this email automatically. Now we create the organization. You can continue without inviting people. Now what you will do is just educational purposes. Then just a few days. And not going to work at all, or whatever you want to use here. So then you submit, or you can skip the step. Now that your organization has been created, you can check the link here, and this will be the name of your organization. So you can just copy that, go back to Visual Studio Code, and we'll just add a comment with replaying. Actually, not replaying, but more organization name. We'll put that in there, right? All right. Now we need to grab our token. So the next step will be to grab our token. Okay? And the way to do that is to just go to github.com settings/tokens. Now you can see I have a bunch of tokens that are already set up. So basically we're just going to generate a new token. And for the sake of this exercise, we'll just select everything because I am the administrator and I just want to set this up. I will delete the token after this exercise just for security. Oh, okay, I need to put a note. So let's do worker live test, and now I can just generate the token. Here we go, we got the token. So make sure to copy this token right away. If you forgot, you can just repeat the step and just create another token. So now we'll just do it that way. We'll just put double quotes around, just in case. All right. Now we'll direct ourselves to our .env Python package, which just uses environment variables, right? So basically, environment variables with Python. Right, lets you use a file, an outside file, and read the variables from that one and instantiate them as, and define them as environment variables to your Python script. So let's create our .env file. Right, in our .env file, what we'll do is just do token equals, and then we'll just take whatever the double quotes we wrote here, our token, and we'll just grab it and put it here. Now what you can do is just delete this comment. Alright, now that we have that set up, now we have set up our prerequisites, and we also have set up our .env file. So now we can close the .env file. Now the next step will be to actually start importing our packages to our Python script. So what we'll do is start by import sys. We'll also import OS. Now we need to import our .env package. So from .env import load.env, which is a function in the .env package that lets you load environment variables. Now we will use the path function from the path package to actually define our file path. Then we need to import our GitHub package. So from GitHub import GitHub. Alright, now that we have that set up, we can actually start by defining our environment variable and grabbing and retrieving that environment variable. So to do that, all we need to do is load.env. Then what we do is define a variable environment path equals to path dot, and then just do single quotes .env. So basically what this does is it says define the path as dot/.env. So look for a file in this path, right? That's what this is. It just creates a string for that. So now load.env, and then what it needs is path. So basically it should be .env path equals to our variable env path, environment path. Now basically .env loaded your environment variable, so basically tokens should be available inside in your Python script. How to actually retrieve to use that variable actually is to use the getEnv method from the OS class or package. So how we'll do that is we'll assign a global variable token is equal to os.getEnv, and then you'll pass token as a string, which is the parameter of your parameter or the variable name in your environment variables. Now that we have that, we'll also set up a repo name for now, and we'll set it to be worker repo. Okay, now that we have that set up, the next step will be to actually instantiate and define our GitHub organization and connection. So basically G is equal to GitHub, and then we'll use token over here, and then we'll just do G is equal to, that's it, right? Now we need to actually define our organization class. So organization is equal to g.getOrganization, and then here basically you just pass the path that we have defined. So let's code together too. So here we'll just do let's go together too. Now organization is a class, and you can see, I mean, we'll just pull up the documentation for that real quick. Let's get everything out. And then if you look at okay, here you go. So if we look at organization over here, so organizations, where is this guy? Oh, here we go. So organizations, if we go and look for create, or actually repo, right, you'll see there is a function, right, called create repo, and this is what we will use to create a repository. So let's go back to our Python code, and let's just do repo object is equal to organization dot create repo. And we'll just use that. Now, create repo takes a lot of arguments, but all we care about so far is just the repo name that we defined before and the description. So test repository for utility fail. Right, or test repository. Right. Here you will just write a description or whatever you will. Okay. Finally, we need to actually get the URL for that repo. So repo URL is equal to repo, right? Dot, and now here we'll just go back to our documentation and we'll look for repository. And what we need here is we need to look for a URL. Well, there's a bunch here. So we said that we needed an HTTP URL for an HTML URL. So basically I'll just look for HTML, and here you go, HTML URL. So that's all I need. So now repo HTML URL. And you can see here, this is a property of the class, of the object, and not a function. So that's how you will access that in Python. And now all we need to do is print that to this screen and repo URL. All right, now that our Python script is set up, we need to actually go back and go to our batch script and start writing it. All right, batch script. All right, so now we need to actually do a little bit of it's gonna be a. All right, so now let's go to our .bat extension file, our batch script. Now let's start by echo off, which turns off the automatic printing of your scripts or command lines. And then what we'll do is we'll do some displaying and go start of worker. So this just prints to the screen, right? It just echoes to the screen, nothing else. All right. So now we need to set our repo name. So basically what we'll do is repo name and then equals, and then we'll just use worker repo. And the next step will be to actually run our Python script. The way it is just Python worker.py. But now this just runs the Python script. But we need to put the printed value of the repo URL into a variable that we'll be using later on, right down the road. So how to do that is to use the right arrow key, and then we'll use output. So now this will just put the content of worker.py, or actually the output of worker.py, into a temp variable output. Now what we will do is we need to set that temp variable into the memory. So basically we'll just do myvar is equal to the output of output. All right, without any spaces. Then we'll just echo myvar for testing purposes. Now the next step that we had in our plan, right, is to actually create the full name of my project directory. So for that, I need to do cd on my projects. Then I can use an mkdir function, and for that, in developer mode, I had an option to do ubuntu run mkdir, and then I could do just repo name, put the repo name in there. Now I have to cd into that repo name, so same thing again, cd into repo name. Now the thing is that I had to put it between quotes because it was not grabbing the actual string variable, right? If I was not putting that in there. Now that I'm inside that repository, what I need to do is just git init. After that, I have to define my global variables in Git because it's the first time I'm doing it. So git config global user.email is equal to, and then, and then what we'll do is com, and then git config global user.name, my full name previous, and then now, right, I'll just have to now our next step, right, is to actually create a readme file and with some content inside. So what we'll do is echo initial readme file, and we'll put the content of that, which is the echo content. So initial readme file, we'll put it inside a readme.md file. That Now that we do that, we need to add the file. We need to commit it. So git add readme.md, and the next step will be git commit -n, and then here we'll just do first commit. Now what we need to do is actually to link our repository to our GitHub repository to our local folder. So how to do that is git remote add origin And then since our, you remember in on line 14 and line 13 how we used our string variable that was set in a variable, so we'll do the same thing for my var. So we'll just copy that and we'll put it here. All right, now I can just simply just push this, git push u origin master. All right, now that we have set this up, we can just run code, Visual Studio Code. So on Windows, I will just do that, but on Ubuntu or another machine, it will be .vs Code. All right, so now we're all set. So if I try that, all right, so if I'm doing like this, IMV worker that with that, so basically I'll just do worker that. All right. Okay, we got our worker. The file was committed. All right, a new branch, and here we go. It started out that, and we got our README file with the initial README file content.